issue today. Resolved, U.S. nuclear weapons should be upgraded. The format is a traditional debate format. The proponent of the resolution, I believe, Matt, you're the proponent, yes. Dr. Matt Kroenig, I will introduce in just a moment. He will speak for 15 minutes in his opening statement, and the opponent of the resolution, Dr. Alan Cooperman, will then speak for 15 minutes for his opener. They'll each then have a 5-minute rebuttal. After that, we will switch to about 15 minutes of Q&A. First, I'll give you each a chance to question one another, which should be interesting. Maybe I'll throw in a moderator's question or two, but please, for those in the audience, be thinking about the questions you'd like to hear either of them or both of them answer. And so I'll be sure to save some time for audience questions as well. So first, the proponent of the resolution. Dr. Matthew Kroenig is a professor in the Department of Government and the Walsh School of Foreign Service at Georgetown. He's a senior fellow at the Brent Scowcroft Center for International Security at the Atlantic Council. He's written widely on national security policy, including nuclear matters. The latest, or soon to be latest, is The Logic of American Nuclear Strategy, a book forthcoming with Oxford University Press. He's been a senior advisor to multiple presidential campaigns, including most recently the 2016 campaign of Marco Rubio and the 2012 campaign of Mitt Romney. He's held positions at DoD, CIA. He's held senior fellowships at the Council on Foreign Relations, Harvard, and Stanford. His MA and PhD both are in political science from the University of California at Berkeley. Matt, the floor is yours. I guess come to the podium for 15 minutes, and then Alan, you'll have the return opportunity.
Great. Well, thank you very much for that introduction. It's a pleasure to be here at the LBJ School at the University of Texas, Austin, one of the truly great places in the country to study American foreign policy. It's also great to be speaking for the Alexander Hamilton Society. I'm a faculty chair of the Alexander Hamilton Society at Georgetown University and speak at their events across the country every year. And thank you all for coming out on such a beautiful day. It's still cold in Washington, D.C., so it was nice to come down and get some early spring. I'd like to begin my talk with a few quotes. Quote number 1. The atomic age is a terrible age, but in this area of national strength and national vigor, it's important that the United States should be second to none. Quote number 2. We'll be, stronger than we've always been. We'll be, stronger than everybody else, as we've always been, with more nuclear weapons than are needed many times over. And final quote, it would be wonderful, a dream would be that no country would have nukes, but if countries are going to have nukes, we're going to be at the top of the pack. So who are those quotes from? Quote number 1, John Kennedy, 1963. Quote number 2, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, 2010. And quote number 3, Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, just a few weeks ago. So Trump's statement saying the United States should expand its nuclear capabilities, that it should be at the top of the pack, generated a lot of controversy, but as these quotes demonstrate, it's actually quite consistent with U.S. foreign policy over the past several decades. And he's actually correct, I believe, in arguing that the United States should strengthen and expand its nuclear capability. So today I'm going to make that argument in 3 parts. First, I'm going to argue that the United States needs to expand and strengthen its nuclear capability by replacing and modernizing the existing nuclear systems that we have. Second, that the United States needs to increase its deployments in terms of numbers of nuclear warheads. And third and finally, that we need to develop new nuclear capabilities for nuclear. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about the nuclear security environment. Nuclear weapons remain the ultimate instrument of military force, and because of that, they're central to great power political competition. So, of course, during the Cold War, nuclear weapons were central to the bipolar strategic competition between the United States and the Soviet Union. And then we were blessed with this 25-year respite of great power politics. The Soviet Union collapsed, the United States was left as the overwhelming superpower. There were no meaningful great power challenges. China had not yet emerged. And so nuclear weapons receded into the background from 1989 to 2014. And the challenges that the United States faced, from Iraq, Afghanistan, Serbia, Al-Qaeda, nuclear weapons didn't play in those because those actors didn't have nuclear weapons, and U.S. nuclear weapons weren't really relevant to the asymmetric challenges that these nations posed. But unfortunately, great power political competition is back. Russia is redrawing the map of Europe for the first time since World War II at gunpoint. China's taking contested territory from U.S. treaty allies through military force. And over the past 8 years, the Obama administration, I think, made a good effort to de-emphasize nuclear weapons. President Obama talked about how he's going to create a world without nuclear weapons, reduce America's nuclear arsenal, de-emphasize nuclear weapons in policy, made good faith steps in that direction. And instead of following the United States lead, the rest of the world went in the other direction. They saw an opportunity. So Russia, China, India, Pakistan, North Korea have all expanded and modernized their nuclear arsenals over the past 8 years. And many of them are relying more, not less, on nuclear weapons in their strategy. So there is, once again, unfortunately, great power political competition in the world. Nuclear weapons are once again central to that competition. And the United States and its allies need a nuclear force to deter those nuclear threats and protect them. So what kind of nuclear force does the United States need? Well, first, we need to modernize and replace these Cold War systems. So I'm sure many of you out here, especially in Texas, have cars. Downtown Washington, D.C., you don't have to own a car. I know in places like Texas or St. Louis, Missouri, where I'm from, you need a car to get anywhere. So many of you probably own cars. How many of you own cars from the 1970s or 1980s? Probably not many of you, and if you do, you wouldn't expect to get in every time, turn the ignition, and have the thing work. You want a newer model. Well, the U.S. nuclear arsenal was created in the 1970s and 1980s at the end of the Cold War. Our systems are aging, and they need to be updated and replaced. As I pointed out a minute ago, Russia, China, right now, are bringing online brand new nuclear missiles, brand new nuclear submarines, brand new nuclear fighters and bombers, and the U.S. nuclear arsenal is aging. So this is the first way we need to upgrade our arsenal, is simply replace the systems that we have. And in fact, President Obama had a plan to modernize our nuclear forces. So it may sound somewhat contradictory, but he said that we're going to get rid of nuclear weapons, but as long as nuclear weapons exist, we need to have a safe, secure, and effective nuclear arsenal, so we need to modernize and replace our systems. So President Obama won bipartisan support to build new nuclear submarines, new nuclear ICBMs, and new nuclear bombers and cruise missiles, and those efforts should continue under the Trump administration. It takes a long time to build forces like this, so this is going to occur over the next several decades, but this is a policy that should remain in place. Second, the United States should increase the number of deployed warheads. Now, some people might say, well, one nuclear weapon is enough to ruin anybody's day. Why do numbers really matter? Well, numbers really do matter. And one way they matter, the first way they matter, is, God forbid, if a nuclear exchange were to take place. So many people don't like to think about nuclear war, even people who think about nuclear strategy, talk about nuclear deterrence, but they don't take the next step and think about what happens if deterrence fails. But if you're trying to deter something, it might be useful to think about what it is you're trying to deter. So what would happen if a nuclear exchange takes place? I think many people have this kind of mutually assured destruction idea that we bomb Moscow, Moscow would bomb our cities. But that's not actually the way the United States has really in decades thought about nuclear strategy. Rather, the United States plans to use our nuclear weapons to try to destroy the enemy's nuclear weapons before they can be used. So how many nuclear weapons do we need for that mission? Well, it depends on how many nuclear weapons the adversary has. Moreover, the United States, think about doing something as important as trying to destroy a Russian ICBM. What happens if you miss? What happens if the warhead doesn't go off? Then you miss that ICBM, it gets to the United States, and millions of Americans are killed. So what planners in the U.S. Department of Defense think about is actually allocating multiple warheads to the enemy targets. So you'd like to put 2 or 3 or 4 warheads on a Russian ICBM silo to make sure that you kill it. So if the enemy is going to have more warheads than the United States, needs more warheads for our strategy, and failing to do that means, God forbid, in the worst case scenario, millions of Americans die who don't need to die. So pretty important stakes. Second, taking a step back from that, numbers of nuclear weapons also matter for deterrence. So if the point is to deter the adversary from using nuclear weapons in the first place, how can we best do that? Well, going back to the 1960s, Thomas Schelling. Thomas Schelling was a genius economist. He actually won the Nobel Prize in economics, but for his work on nuclear strategy. And he was the first one to really say that nuclear deterrence is kind of like a game of chicken. The United States and Russia, neither one wants a crash. Neither one wants a nuclear war. But they still get into serious conflicts. Conflicts, Cuba during the Cuban Missile Crisis, conflicts over Ukraine today, Syria, other things in the future. And so neither one wants a crash, but neither one wants to swerve first either. They want to force the adversary to back down. Of course, forcing the adversary to back down is the way you avoid a crash. So if it's a game of chicken, some of my research shows, I think pretty persuasively, that if you're driving a Hummer and the other guy's driving a Toyota Prius, the Toyota Prius is going to swerve first. And so by having a robust nuclear force, the United States is going to be more likely to force Russia, China, and North Korea not to challenge us in the first place, so we don't have to worry about nuclear war. Okay, so what do the numbers look like now? If numbers matter, if having an advantage over your adversary matters. Well, in 2010, the United States and Russia signed the New START Treaty. In that treaty, we both agreed to deploy no more than 1,550 nuclear weapons. But Russia is a couple of hundred warheads over that limit right now. According to the latest numbers, Russia is deploying something like 1,800 nuclear weapons. And the United States is actually a couple of hundred warheads below. Obama's part of his aiming towards zero actually went below. We have about 1,300 weapons deployed. So this is the second way that the United States could upgrade its nuclear arsenal. First, just by increasing our number of deployed weapons up to the limits allowed by in the treaty. There's no reason why we shouldn't deploy up to 1,550, which is what is allowed in the treaty. And we also have to be prepared that if Russia doesn't come down into compliance with the treaty limits in time, that they may cheat on this agreement like they've cheated on many other agreements, and we need to be prepared to expand to match them. Third and finally, the United States needs new nuclear capabilities. This is the third way we can upgrade the arsenal. So you may remember during the Cold War that the United States used to have all of these crazy nuclear weapons. We had nuclear artillery on the battlefield that the Army used to have. The Navy had nuclear torpedoes, nuclear depth charges. We had nuclear surface-to-air missiles that we would use to take out enemy airplanes. At the end of the Cold War, we said, well, that was crazy. We got rid of all that stuff. Russia got rid of some of that stuff, but they've actually kept a lot of it. Russia today has nuclear torpedoes, nuclear depth charges, nuclear artillery, nuclear surface-to-air missiles. And more worrying, as I said before, Russia's relying more, not less, on nuclear weapons in its strategy. So Russia currently has this idea of escalate to de-escalate. So their idea is that if they're losing a war with NATO and Europe, and they recognize that NATO and the United States have conventional military superiority over Russia, that if they're losing a war with NATO, rather than lose, they'll start popping off nuclear weapons, using these tactical nuclear weapons against NATO U.S. forces on the ground, potentially against NATO aircraft, NATO ships at sea, with the hope that U.S. and Western leaders will say, well, we're not willing to fight a nuclear war over this, we back down. Or the alternative is to say, well, they use nuclear weapons, now we're going to unleash our strategic nuclear arsenal, risking a massive nuclear exchange and the destruction of large parts of the United States and Europe. So essentially they force us into this choice of suicide or surrender with this strategy. And so it would be much better for the United States to actually have some of these more tailored capabilities like Russia has in Europe to show President Putin that you can't get away with one or two nuclear strikes, that we have the ability to respond to that. And of course, the point isn't that anybody wants to fight a limited nuclear war in Europe, but rather it's to show President Putin that we have an effective response, that he can't use nuclear weapons and get away with it, and then to deter him from using force in the first place. So to wrap up, these statements by Trump got a lot of attention. People said they were controversial, but they're actually quite consistent with decades of U.S. policy. Trump is right, in my view, that we do need to expand and strengthen America's nuclear weapons. First, by replacing and modernizing our old systems. Two, by increasing deployments, at least to what is allowed under our current international obligation. And third, by developing some more tailored capabilities to deal with this new threat posed by Russia's escalate to de-escalate strategy. And I'll just finish by pointing out that the United States really has a special responsibility in this regard. Because the United States nuclear arsenal is not meant just to deter nuclear attacks against the United States. But the United States also extends nuclear deterrence to over 30 treaty allies in Europe and Asia. Our allies in NATO and Europe, our allies in Asia, South Korea, Japan, Australia, are also relying on America's nuclear deterrence. So if we're going to provide nuclear deterrence, if we're going to provide continued peace and stability in Europe and Asia, then I think Donald Trump is correct that the United States needs a nuclear arsenal that's, quote, second to none. Thank you.
opening argument from Dr. Alan Krugman, who's a professor here at the LBJ School. Alan is the founding coordinator of the Nuclear Proliferation Prevention Project, and you can check out that organization at nppp.org and some banner out front for it. His books include Nuclear Terrorism and Global Security, which is a light and uplifting read. That's all right. He's written a lot of additional writings related to nuclear proliferation issues. Before he was an academic, Alan worked with Congress, among other things. While he was there, he drafted a provision in the 1992 Energy Policy Act that restricts the export of bomb-grade uranium. His PhD is in political science from MIT. His MA is in international relations from Johns Hopkins, and his AD is in physical sciences from Harvard University. Dr. Krugman.
Thank you. Thank you, Bobby, thank you, Matt, and thank you, Alexander Hamilton Society, for the invitation to speak today. I may start coughing in the middle of actually the end of a cold, so I apologize for that in advance. And thanks most of all to you folks who came out on this beautiful Central Texas Day to hear about potential destruction. You and your fellow Americans. Okay. The debate question today is not about eliminating nuclear weapons, nor is it about letting our nukes degrade so that they are unreliable. To be clear, I favor maintaining our nuclear arsenal to deter nuclear attacks on the U.S. and on our closest allies. Instead, the debate question is whether to quote-unquote upgrade our nukes. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means two things. There's two upgrades that are really being discussed. One is to improve the accuracy of our nuclear weapons, and two is to reduce their explosive power. Those two upgrades together would make our nuclear weapons, quote-unquote, more usable. That is the language of Pentagon officials who advocate this. I oppose these upgrades on grounds that they would actually make us less safe by encouraging our enemies to attack us with their nuclear weapons. That's a bold claim. How could it be that improving our weapons could make us less safe? Well, in fact, that is the key insight from 70 years of scholarship on nuclear weapons. And the idea, you might think, oh, this must be some dovish idea. No, this idea came from hawks. It came from people like Henry Kissinger, Brent Scowcroft, who were both Republican national security advisors to the president. It also comes from the RAND Corporation, which is the think tank for whom? For the U.S. Air Force, which controls most of our nuclear weapons. And the key insight is this: we are safer if our enemies believe we cannot destroy all of their nuclear weapons with a surprise first strike. Why? Because if they believe that we can't have a successful first strike against them, then they will not put their weapons on a hair trigger. They know that they can absorb our first strike and still have enough nuclear weapons left to retaliate against us with devastating force. So their weapons don't have to be on a hair trigger, which is good for both of us, because it reduces the chance of an accidental nuclear war. But things would change bigly if we could destroy their nukes with a first strike, because that would actually endanger us. Why? Because if we had the ability to hit them and destroy all their weapons with a first strike, they would feel compelled to put their nuclear weapons on a hair trigger. So that in case we did attack them, they could launch their nukes before our missiles arrived to destroy their arsenal. To be clear, this would increase the chance that they would nuke us, which obviously is not in our interest. Now this may sound airy-fairy and theoretical. Let's imagine a real-world scenario. Let's say China gets more aggressive, grabbing islands in the South China Sea. The U.S. responds by deploying an aircraft carrier group to defend sea traffic and to defend our allies' territorial claims. China responds with conventional airstrikes against some of our ships. Our president retaliates with conventional bombing of Chinese air bases. This is a real-world scenario, folks. I would say there's a decent chance this will happen. What will China do when we start bombing their air bases? China will issue a warning. It will remind the U.S. that China has nuclear weapons. We're now in a crisis. This will also raise China's fears of a U.S. first strike to take out their nuclear weapons. In fact, we almost certainly would be considering such a first strike, whether or not that is then national security advisor. And so what will China do? China will then put its nuclear weapons on highest alert. Now what happens at that moment? Let's say at that moment, China's radars detect an apparent launch of U.S. missiles. These kind of alerts come in from time to time. There have been many of them since the advent of nuclear weapons. China receives radars detect an apparent launch of U.S. missiles which are capable of destroying their entire arsenal unless China launches its nukes within 15 minutes. China's leader can't be sure if the radar signal is real, or an error, or a hack. But his advisors ask him, do you want to go down in history as the Chinese leader who did nothing when the West disarmed China? I hope you agree this is a terrifying scenario. And the question is, do we want to increase the likelihood of this doomsday scenario? Because that's precisely what upgrading our nuclear weapons would do. And here's why. Today, our weapons are not very accurate. So if we attempted a first strike against China, we'd have to use big nuclear explosions, which would kill millions of Chinese civilians. In other words, to destroy China's nukes, we'd have to commit genocide against China's people. That's very unlikely. And China knows this. But if we upgrade our nukes, increasing their accuracy, we could destroy China's nukes with much smaller explosions that would kill far fewer civilians. Maybe only thousands of civilians, maybe only hundreds of civilians. That is much more likely that we would launch that kind of strike if we could destroy their nuclear weapons without killing a lot of their people. Indeed, it's why Pentagon officials say that upgrading our nukes would make them more usable. Unfortunately, our adversaries understand that too. Last year, Russia's non-proliferation chief said, quote, "The characteristics of such weapons will objectively increase the temptation to use them," unquote. That's right. So if we upgrade, our adversaries, China, Russia, and others will know we are more likely to use our nuclear weapons. And they will respond by putting their nukes on a hair trigger, which, as we saw from the scenario I just discussed, increases the chance that they will nuke us someday. So to conclude these opening remarks, upgrading our nukes would increase the chance that the U.S. will be victimized with a nuclear attack, killing tens of millions of innocent Americans. That means such upgrades would be foreign policy malpractice, or in the language of our current president, a total disaster.
Great. Well, thank you very much for that presentation, Professor Cooperman. Informative and entertaining as always. I'm going to respond, I think, with a few points. First, I'll come back to this issue about more accurate and more usable nuclear weapons in a second, but first just point out that three of the ways I've talked about upgrading American nuclear weapons could be done without raising any of the risks that Professor Cooperman talks about. And I suspected that at least part of this debate would be a debate about what do we mean by upgrade, and in fact I think that is part of the debate. So increasing the deployment of numbers of U.S. nuclear weapons doesn't, in the ways that you point out, make them more accurate. And it's just increasing the numbers of the weapons that we already have, so that can be done without raising these risks. Second, talking about these more flexible nuclear capabilities in Europe to counter the Russian escalate to de-escalate threat. These would be tactical nuclear weapons for use on the battlefield, not the kind of strategic weapons that Professor Cooperman was talking about. So those upgrades could be made without increasing accuracy, without increasing lethality. But the plans to modernize and replace the nuclear weapons that we have would mean more effective weapons. They would be more accurate ICBMs, more accurate SLBMs, and more capable cruise missiles, and that makes sense because the current capabilities were made in the 70s and 80s. These would be modern, like what the Russians are rolling out right now. So what about this? The concern then that this would lead to this use them or lose them problem. He's absolutely right that many nuclear strategists over the years have pointed this out. That the United States has a splendid first strike capability against an adversary. That rather than have its nuclear weapons wiped out, that the adversary might decide to launch nuclear weapons first. So it's called the use them or lose them problem. That our enemies might use nuclear weapons against us first, so that we can't take them out. So the first thing I'd point out is that the United States has accepted this idea of mutual vulnerability with Russia and before that the Soviet Union. So we accepted this idea that even if we struck first, even if we hit Russia with everything we had, that we wouldn't be able to completely disarm them, that they would have nuclear weapons that would survive and come back at us. But we've never accepted that with China or North Korea, our other two nuclear-armed adversaries. Not even the Obama administration accepted that. They considered this idea of mutual vulnerability with China, but were unwilling to accept it. So U.S. Strategy with China and North Korea is that we're better off if China and North Korea don't have the ability to hit the U.S. homeland with nuclear weapons. And I think it's kind of takes tortured logic to argue that we're actually safer if China and North Korea have a reliable ability to nuke the U.S. Than we are if we have the ability to prevent that. But the strategic stability logic that Professor Cooperman put forward essentially assumes that we're actually safer if our enemies have a reliable ability to nuke us. We've never accepted that with China and North Korea, and we shouldn't accept that going forward. We should rather have the ability to blunt their nuclear capability, to prevent it from being used to protect the United States and our allies. But let's take the case of Russia. Let's assume that we improved our nuclear capabilities to a point that even Russia was in this use them or lose them situation. So I think the logic of use them or lose them is actually illogical. Because think about it. Let's go back to the scenario. Let's go back to the China scenario that Professor McEwen put forward. So China's leaders fear that its nuclear weapons are about to be wiped out, and so rather than have that happen, they intentionally choose to launch a nuclear attack against the United States. Well, that argument ignores two things. The first thing it ignores is that the United States has a so-called secure second strike capability. We've got a superior nuclear arsenal. We could ride out that attack, and we'd hit them back hard. So they're intentionally choosing to start a nuclear war that they're going to lose, for sure. Why would a rational leader do that? I would contest that a rational leader would not do that. And this ignores the second thing, is that starting the nuclear war that he loses for sure isn't President Xi's only option. President Xi's other option is to simply back down and live to fight another day. So in that use them or lose them situation, in a situation where they're outgunned by a U.S. nuclear arsenal, adversaries would be much more likely to back down than they would be to intentionally start a nuclear war. And what does the record of the past 70 years show? Well, over the past 70 years, America's nuclear adversaries have backed down in the face of American superior nuclear power many, many times. Never once in the history of the world have we had a leader decide to intentionally launch a nuclear war that he was going to lose for sure because he was afraid of losing his or her nuclear weapon. So maybe it could happen in the future. Maybe you'd have a crazy leader somewhere. But I think, on balance, the United States is safer if our adversaries don't have the ability to reliably nuke the U.S. homeland. And I think it takes some pretty tortured logic to argue the reverse. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, I invite you guys, or I invited you earlier to...
Wait, I have to rebut.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought you were back up there.
One-sided Hamilton society.
I thought you were super persuasive. There was not much to do.
Well, I agree with that, actually. Okay. 5 minutes, correct?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Okay. interesting set of arguments. Number one, my opponent says, well, we accept this argument that it would be a bad idea to threaten to destroy Russia's nuclear weapons. But that argument doesn't hold with China and North Korea. Why? One, they borscht, and the other one, they kung pao chicken. It doesn't make any sense. If the argument makes sense with one nuclear-armed adversary, it makes sense with all nuclear-armed adversaries. So I didn't hear any reason for different logic for different countries. Secondly, Matt has talked about this desperate need to increase our number of nuclear warheads. And that's odd. That's odd. He says that we need to have more nuclear weapons so that we can threaten to destroy our adversaries' nuclear weapons. Well, there was just something published this week by one of our top sets of experts, including Ted Postal of Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And he says that with our current arsenal of submarine-launched missiles, we could destroy all of Russia's land-based nuclear missiles. And we would still have 79% of our ballistic missile warheads remaining. So 20% of our arsenal could destroy their entire land-based arsenal. But he says we need more. He also said that in a game of chicken, bigger numbers matter. If you have more nuclear weapons on the other side, you can coerce them. Well, during the second half of the Cold War, who had more nuclear weapons, the U.S. or the Soviet Union? The Soviet Union. About twice as many nuclear weapons as we have. They weren't coercing us. I don't recall that. I recall we won the Cold War, despite the fact that they had more nuclear weapons. So it's another argument that suggests that numbers are not the key. Need is the key. The third thing, which is not mentioned, is cost. The cost for the full-blown upgrade that's being discussed is, over 30 years, is $1 trillion. $1 trillion. In the first 10 years, $400 billion. Now, it's very hard to imagine $1 billion. $1 trillion is 1,000 billion dollars. So, even if these upgrades weren't going to endanger us, if they're not going to help us, why waste $1 trillion? Now, that also talks about the risk of, in Eastern Europe, that Vladimir Putin, if he's in a war and he's losing a war against us, that he would think he could launch a nuke against us and we wouldn't respond, because we don't have ways to respond. We have 7,000 nuclear warheads at the current moment. We have over 150 tactical nuclear warheads based in Europe. So where's this inability to respond or to deter a threat? We say, put-put-puts. If you're thinking about using tactical nukes, we have tactical nukes in Europe. In Europe. We can respond very, very quickly. So don't even think about it. And believe me, I don't think, what did Matt say? He said, Putin might think he could get away with attacking us with 1 or 2 nuclear weapons. Do you really think that Putin thinks he could attack us with 1 or 2 nuclear weapons and we wouldn't respond? I don't know anyone in the world who envisions that scenario. Now, the last thing that Matt said is that if a country thought we were about to destroy their nuclear weapons, they wouldn't fire them at us. They would rather just let us disarm them with a nuclear strike and we destroy all their nuclear weapons. Now I ask you, think about the leader of North Korea. Okay? Think about the leader of North Korea. If he was told by his intelligence officials, the U.S. is launching a nuclear first strike that will destroy all of our nuclear weapons unless we fire them now, do you really think that he would go down with a ship? Let us destroy his nuclear weapons? Or do you think, in a fit of pique and on principle, he would say, well, I'm going to fire them before the U.S. can destroy them? And if you think that's even possible, then maybe we shouldn't be thinking about more usable ways of destroying, of attempting to destroy their nuclear arsenal. So what it's really going to do is incentivize them to us.